Hello, what up? This is James. We got a little Blair Flanagan available for unlocking. Get over 1.2 million points and beat the pairs duels in the GX world. And we got a new banned list and nerfed skills list. Can we get some invokers out of here? Because I am tired of that deck, even though I have everything. So we're gonna go over what Blair's bringing to the party and these new Forbidden Limited lists, but we're going to start with what's most important. What is being removed from the game. Grass Screener limited to 1. This card will be limited as drawing it often nearly guarantees victory. You know, that's not true, Konami. A lot of times, you know, you draw your Grass Screener and you find that your opponent has countered you by having another grass deck that's the exact same size as yours, so your grass does not work, or you mill and you get a bad mill, all kinds of bad things. But I think they just didn't want, because like grass decks, like decks that rely on grass, like Shiranui is not a deck that relies on grass. It's a deck that benefits from grass, but decks that rely on grass are annoying, and I think Konami wanted to remove that from the duel pool. All right, limited to Dark Lord Thixchel. Dark Lord decks are very difficult to defeat, so we are limiting this card to promote deck diversity, classic duel links, and Shiranui Spectral Sword, limited to prevent Shiranui decks from using other powerful cards in conjunction with this card, and also, right, you know, no grass. Only 2 Spectral Sword. You are probably not going to be wanting to do 30 card Shiranuis anymore. And Blackring Orochi the Squall, limit 2 on top of the Blackwing, the one that destroys. Raikiri, the Rain Shower. Yeah, I think it's any rate. The Blackwing card that destroys the Synchro Monster. You can now have one of that and one Orochi, which is actually fine as long as you don't draw the one Orochi and then have to, you know, choose between having access to that and then or banishing it for your Simoon, the Poison Wind, and Ritual Beast Tamer, limited to prevent Ritual Beast decks from summoning many monsters in one turn, which is it's like another annoying tactic, but like, because I don't think that Ritual Beasts are a great choice. I know they did well in the KC Cup, but I don't think they're a great choice because they take a long time to play. And finally, oh baby, a triple. Palace of the Elemental Lords, limited to 3. And Cosmic Cyclone, limited to 3. So there's a lot of hate on the Aleister Elemental Lords with Cosmic Cyclone, with the Draw Sense Aleister skill happening. So now you have to choose between your Palace of the Elemental Lords, which is great for your Element Sabers, rather, with your Element Sabers, letting you just have a lot of control over what Element Sabers that you have out. And then Cosmic Cyclone, which is like the best form of back row removal and lets you activate a lot of skills. And then no longer on the list, Wiz Sage for Hire is freed. Cyber Petite is freed. Now you can use as many Cyber Petites as you want. And then Vision Hero Vion gearing. Oh, I gotta get the other structure deck. Vision Hero Vion gearing up for the more Vision Heroes that we're gonna have. We got a useless one from an event, but Vision Hero Adoration, previewed in the selection box, is looking very tasty, and that'll probably be coming in like the next main box or the main box after. Just big Vision Hero party. All right, and the skill rebalancing. So Seal Tombs, nerfies. Sorcery Conduit, nerfies. Compensation, Dark Lords, nerfies. Actually, it's a little overdue for the Dark Lords nerfies, but I don't think compensation was like the meta when Dark Lords were completed with Dark Lord Banishment. I know there's more Dark Lords cards, but they were finally like good when you were able to, get turn 1 card into 2 cards of any 2 cards in your whole deck that you wanted. My monster cards, trap layer, spell specialists are being lowered. Yeah. So those are like, if you have 5 or more different spells, traps, monster cards, you have an increased chance of starting with one of those. And then now that increased chance is now a lesser than whatever that chance is. But they're still not telling us what it is. Creator is Buffy. Cyberdark style Buffy's. Bring It, Might of the King, Bring It, Might of the King Buffy's. Chain Reaction, Love and Pain are now have correct descriptions. So, Sealed Tombs can be, before you just use it whenever. You just pop seal, you just turn 1, set up your board, and then pop Sealed Tombs, and then your opponent cannot banish anything from the graveyard. And so that prevents, like, Shiranui stuff. Well, no, Shiranui is, like, the turn after the tuners are sent to the graveyard, but you know what I mean. Now you have to have your life points lower than your opponent by 1,000, which is actually not terrible because probably a lot of, like, Sealed Tombs is not an active skill, it's a reactive skill. It's a meta choice when you're expecting to see a lot of decks that banish from the graveyard. You counter that with Sealed Tombs, and a lot of those decks, the player just throws in Cosmic Cyclone. So if you can open Cosmic... I mean, obviously it's less consistent, but if you can open Cosmic Cyclone, your Sealed Tombs play is unaffected. Sorcery Conduit can be used each time your life points decrease by 15 hundo, random spellcaster type monster. So you can no longer just pop that with Cosmic Cyclone. Compensation is no longer unlimited. Dark Lord players were paying 1,000 for their Dark Lord effects to activate spells and traps in the graveyard, and then dumping a random card from the deck into the graveyard and recovering 300 LP, which was a great and annoying combo that can now only be used once per turn and twice per duel. The scale text will remain the same for those 3. Creator is going to be buffed in a mysterious way in late March, so don't worry about it, and it'll probably still be terrible. Just because it's inconsistent. I think Creators like lose 2,000 and get a random powerful card, but now I have Trip Mirror Wall, so we can play around with that more. Cyberdark style is now the best form of the adding to the deck, because now you can have your hand, see what you want, and then exchange a card for a Cyberdark Edge. That might be a good change up, because Cyberdark Edge can attack directly. So if you have dragons in your graveyard with all the new Dragon Blue Eyes cards coming in the Judgment main box, that might be interesting. Bring It, same deal. You can now have your hand, pick what you want, and get Destiny Hero Plasma. Might of the King, still terrible. Chain Reaction and Love is Pain are just now correctly described in, I guess, English. Great. These are positive changes. Dark Lords are annoying to play against. Invoked is really annoying to play against, especially when they can search the Invoker, and then also, just have the extra, on top of the extra Invokers that they already have by thinning their deck with Palace of the Elemental Lords. So Invoked got smashed, and that's a good thing, because Coctus slows down a lot of duels, and we already have Cutteroid making things slow, so the speed was brought back up a little bit, and I like that a lot. So I am a fan of all of these changes, including the Limit 3 edition. They're finally implementing the Limit 3 restriction, which is a clever way to let people play all of the main box ultra rares that they paid for, just not with all of the other main box ultra rares that they also paid for. Alright, so Blair is unlockable by getting 1.2 million points in the event that's currently happening, and then also defeating the pair duels. Just go and beat the pair duel. Bring any competent deck. Bring the Power Shark auto duel deck, and it'll be like a tag team duel. Blair has control of her things, and then you can unlock her, and you can get some cool Twilight Sworn cards. So she gave us Twilight Sworn Lila, which counters the dark magical circle, and then she's also given us Jane, Twilight Sworn General, that lets us, banish Light Sworns of our choice. Raiko, Twilight Sworn Fighter. You can banish, banish a Light Sworn from your hand or graveyard. Banish one card in the field. So that's a good, those are Raiko Twilight Sworn and Raiko Light Sworn are two good doggos to be having, and I think you get 3 of each. And you also get Punishment Dragon. Possessing 4 or more banished Light Sworn monsters with different names. So you charge that up with your Twilight Sworn. So it's kind of a trade-off, because the Light Sworns by themselves, I think they're more consistent, and they're a little more powerful. And then the Twilight Sworns, there's a trade-off, right? So they're not so powerful immediately, but then they charge up the Punishment Dragon. And then once per turn, quick effect, you can pay 1,000 LP. Shuffle into the deck all cards in the graveyards and all face-up banished cards, except Light Sworn Monsters. So you can, really put the hurt on Shiranuis if they haven't killed you by the time Punishment Dragon is available to be summoned. But, and then she has crap like this, and obviously all these nice gems. But what we really want, is Twilight Eraser. If you control 2 or more Light Sworn Monstagios with the same type or different names, so the Light Sworn Lights or the Twilight Sworn Darks, banish 2 Light Sworn monsters from your graveyard, then target 2 cards in the field. Banish them. Boom! If this card is sent from... But what's more likely going to happen in your big Light Sworn mill deck, if this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard by a Light Sworn monster's effect, you can special summon 1 Light Sworn monster from your hand, and then that Light Sworn monster can do more milling. So that's nice. That's interesting. Great ban list, and pretty okay addition to the Duelist ranks. Welcome, Blair Flanagan. Thank you for watching.